So, Walt, believe it or not, it's time to start talking about fall vegetables, right?
Absolutely. And, a lot of people, it's like they have this magical thing like, oh, we'll start thinking about fall vegetables come October 1. No, you have to start thinking about that good stuff back in July, you know what I'm saying? So that's really when we plant a lot of the fall vegetables.
Right, you got to start thinking about it when it's hot.
That's right, you have to start thinking about it when it's hot. So yes, this is the good stuff.
Okay.
Into those good cold crops.
Okay.
Yes.
I can tell you like those good cold crops too. Huh?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So what are some of the vegetables that can be raised in the fall?
Okay. Well, I'm going to stick for now with the traditional cold crops.
Okay.
That we see, and usually when you think about the cold crops, I always like to think about like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and also your greens, your kale, those types of plants. Now, what's a lot of fun with them is that, they provide us the green leafy stuff that the people who, talk about nutrition say you need. So, and I also like to think of the cold crops as coleslaw. Because that's what you use, the cabbage and broccoli.
Right.
So I even make a broccoli slaw. So,
how about that?
Yeah, so that's how I kind of look at it.
Okay.
Yes, and just leading off here, let's just talk about the, one of the main ones, and that of course is cabbage.
Oh, cabbage! I like cabbage.
And yes, cabbage is very, very good. Of course, when you eat them, you're gonna have to burp a little bit. But there's a lot of different ways to cook them. But you really want to plant them in July if you're gonna do them by seed, but you can transplant them up through about maybe August 10th or so. If you're going to use transplants, they need about 60 days to get to this size.
Okay.
And so therefore they'll be ready around October. So that's really the best way to do them. And you want to plant them on 36-inch rows, and plant them probably, I'd say probably about 18 inches apart. And they should do well.
Okay. Do you have a favorite variety?
Yes, I like Stonehead, and I also like Red Rookie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a red cabbage?
Yes, that's a red cabbage.
Oh, yeah, that makes a great colored slaw.
Oh, yes. That makes the slaw just even better. Yes, and the next one I like to talk about, of course, is good old broccoli, which is just healthy for you. I mean, it just doesn't get any better. And again, you can transplant them up through about, again, August 10th, August 15th, somewhere along that line. You want to set them out 36-inch rows, 18 inches apart, the plants. And I'll tell you, the varieties that I really like for the fall is Emperor and Green Comet. It just seems like they can handle cooler weather a little better.
Okay.
From what I've seen, just, planting them in my own garden.
Okay.
And then, of course, another one, of course, is good old cauliflower. And I'll be honest with you, with both cauliflower and broccoli, I'll just eat those, just eat them. I don't have to cook them. But for cauliflower, again, I would say in mid-July, transplant up to about, again, mid-August or so. Takes about, I think, 60 days for it to make a crop. So that'll put you again in, be ready to come October. And there's one variety that I recommend for fall planting, and that is Snow Crown.
Snow Crown.
Yes, Snow Crown, and it's a good size cauliflower. It has good size to it, and I've had a lot of success growing it. Okay. And then, of course, one of my favorite plants that I just like to eat now is, of course, turnip greens. And your turnip greens, you really want to plant them. You can plant them from August through September. And it's going to take you about 30 days before you get a crop. And now, the reason that I like planting turnip greens and the variety that I like to plant in the fall is 7-top. But the reason I like to plant them, I kind of line my garden a little earlier than most people because turnip green seeds are very, very small.
Yes, they are.
So what I usually do, I mix them in with lime. So the spots that I'm going to sow my turnip greens in, I also lime at the same time.
That pelletized lime.
Yes, that pelletized.
Like dolomite.
Right, right.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, it just kind of
Yeah.
is an easy way to sow them, and I usually get a pretty good uniform crop. And like I said, I really like those. And of course, some people grow turnip greens also for the turnip, you know. And purple top is the go-to variety for turnips. Now, when I cook turnip greens, a lot of times I'll even chop up a turnip and put it in there. But again, and they will last you throughout the fall season. I mean, they'll last you throughout, even on over into winter. As a matter of fact, once it frosts on them, once it snows on them, they get bitter. And I really like those bitter turnip greens, and put a little chow pickle with them, and it's just real good.
I bet you use hot sauce too.
Yes. And next, Chris, I would like to also say, but fall gardening can also be extending the summer garden as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to use one of the big featured crops that we use for summer gardening, of course, is tomatoes. But you can carry them on into November. You can have you some transplants that you set out, you know, like in late June, July, and you'll end up getting some good tomato crops. Now, one thing that people should remember in the Mid-South area, you know, is November 13th, according to the Tennessee Department of Ag's weather statistics, history, somebody keeps up with all that. I don't know who does up there. They say it's a 50% chance of first frost occurring on November 13th in Memphis.
Wow, okay.
So kind of
50% chance.
Yeah, so kind of do a little math backwards, and you can kind of see how maybe you can get your growing season in there to grow you some tomatoes.
Right.
I even have carried tomatoes on up till about November 10th myself, simply by covering my tomatoes at night, so that in case it did frost, they would be covered. But then once I know that it's pretty much going to be times where we're going to get a lot of cold weather and frost, I just go on out there and pick my green tomatoes off. And if you live in the South, well, you know,
fried green tomatoes.
So, and you can also set them in a windowsill, in a south-facing windowsill, and they'll turn red as well. So that's how you can kind of extend your tomato crop to go on into the fall as well. So, you know, those are some nice little things. Oh, by the way, a variety that I really like, two varieties I like to grow for tomatoes as far as late plantings is Celebrity, and I like Better Boy.
You like Better Boy? Okay.
Yes, I really like those to
popular.
carry on into the fall with.
Yeah, those are popular.
So I always set me about, you know, I usually set out about maybe 6 plants to carry me into the fall. I'll do, you know, 3 of each.
Okay. Now going back to our cold crops, so yeah, if we get a frost or freezing temps, are they going to be fine?
They'll be fine. That's why they are listed, you know, as cold hardy crops, and they can handle that. Now, if you get some big devastating, you know, freeze event, something that we rarely see or something, everything's kind of off the table then. But yes, this is just getting hold of this stuff on a good fall or winter day is very good.
I could tell you like that. Well, we appreciate the good information, man, and what a nice display.
Yes.
Thank you much, Bob. We appreciate that. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. To find out more information on this topic, just click on the familyplotgarden.com link in the description.